Test, test, test. Let me know how we sounding. Let me know how we sounding. All right, let me fix this really quick. You already know how it is. You be trash in the beginning. All right, let's see if we sound a little bit better. Let's see if we sound a little bit better. Test, test, test. All right, cool, cool, cool. If the mic does get a little bit static, you just let me know, y'all. If the mic does get a little bit staticky, we'll just make sure we sounding good before I take my AirPods out. All right, cool. So a few charts ended up going as projected. No, still sounding static. Let me try to fix this really quick. If we got any tech wizards in here, like I say all the time, it's literally only be tripped when I be doing these live streams. That's probably what it is. Let me turn this off really quick. I think I might have fixed it because sometimes StreamYard resets my mic settings. Let me see. All right, we sound better. All right, cool. So if y'all watched the Sunday chart analysis last night, a lot of charts ended up going as projected, y'all. Okay, it still sounds static. Let me try to fix this. Yeah, I'm gonna need a tech motherfucker to DM me because, like I said, it'll only be tripping when I be live streaming. Obviously, we get it working, but in the beginning, always be sounding static and tripping out. So everybody knows why that is. I've tried a bunch of different mics. I've always had this issue when I'm streaming. So anybody got any solutions, let me know so we don't got to deal with this for like the first 5 minutes every time we go live. But a lot of charts end up going as projected from the Sunday chart analysis, and the mic does get staticky again. Let me know, y'all, and I'll fix it on my end. But US30 YM ended up doing a nice dumps last night. Again, we dropped this at 10:36 p.m. All right. So literally, as I was uploading it, as I was recording it, US30 YM did a nice drop, did another nice drop right before London session. Gold absolutely dumped crazy last night. I'm not even going to touch it unless it retraces. That thing fucking took a dump just like it did last week. And then GU did a quick move as well. So we're going to be looking for a GU sell right here. If GU can maintain 32.95 as resistance, we can look for sales going down to 32.55. So that's what we're looking at right here. So we're going to be looking for US30 YM sales. We're going to be looking for GU sales. We're going to be looking to see if US30 can retest and maintain 45.480 as resistance, or if we can break below and turn 45.300 into a resistance level. All right, y'all, make sure to like the live. Y'all hop up in here, subscribe if you have not subscribed already. We are holding this low as resistance, so we're going to wait to see how this next 5 minute plays out. New 5 minute just popped up. If y'all got any questions, drop in the chat. We're going to look at any charts, drop in the chat. But you already know the drill. We're just chilling, patiently waiting. Somebody let me know if the audio sounds good. We got 12 people up in here. Let me know if the audio sounds good, y'all. Let me know if the audio sounds good so we can get to it. I keep telling y'all, I told y'all when I did a recap of the week. Some of y'all be thinking I just be saying some shit, but when I tell y'all, if you're not watching the Sunday chart analysis or London session lives, you are missing out. Literally dropped this last night. Charts already going as projected. But we're going to see what London session New York actually got in store for us. Again, as far as today goes, we don't have any news today. So we're simply just waiting for a volume and our confirmations to be met. So let's see what US30 does right here. Again, this is why we don't FOMO or breakout trade. Again, it's not the buyers or sellers trapping y'all. It's simply you're just rushing the setup. All right, again, always wait for the break and retest. I got some new videos lined up for y'all today. Make sure you're on the lookout for that. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I see that scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Instagram, Playmaker_Way. TikTok, _Playmaker_Way_. What's going on, new? I see you up in here. So, about to see how this next 15 plays out. What's going on? How you feeling? I see you up in here. Y'all, I've been watching you for a while, and you've been right about your strategy. Only thing I have a question about what time frame do you market your key levels, and what do you look for to market key level zone? That's what's up. That's what's up. It's called the playbook for a reason. So to learn exactly how I mark off my key price levels, make sure to click the link in the description and join Playmaker University. All right, make sure to join Playmaker University. I have no more slots for one-on-one sessions, so somebody drops off. But if you use discount code Q1, this is the last week, y'all. Use discount code Q1 for 25% off everything. Join Playmaker University. Not only do you get the price action technical analysis playbook for free, but you get my other books for free, as well as you get my full strategy daily analysis. Literally, watch the last few minutes of any of my YouTube videos to go over all the details of that. But also, when you click that link, it tells you what it comes with as well. All right, because I could tell you right now, but this is you have to literally practice it. Literally, anybody that does one-on-one session at Playmaker University, they do not watch it one time and know how to do this shit. All right, it takes a little bit of practice and explaining, and it's also situational. So I'm glad you've been tuning in and things have been clicking and working for you. So again, if you see the shit working, you know what to do to become a playmaker. But right now, y'all, we're looking at US30 sales potentially and potential GBPUSD sales. We're just waiting for the next 15 to pop up. We're looking to see if we can maintain this low as resistance, or we're going to look for either price to retest this level or break and retest right here. All right, new 15 just popped up. Let's move this clock out the way. Let's see what US30 is up to. Again, we're not touching gold unless it retraces. I think dumped all last night. All the levels we talked about in the Sunday chart analysis when I projected. So we're just going to let that do its thing. But I like this GU setup right here. So let's hold that thought. I like this retest right here. So we're gonna let this thing hold its resistance right here. We're gonna let that thing push. If you got any questions, drop in the chat and I got y'all. Want me to look at any charts, drop in the chat and I got y'all. We're about to hit TP1 already. Barely missed TP1. We'll see if we can maintain this level as resistance. We're not going to touch GJ either, y'all. Like I said, we're in an uptrend on GJ. Like I was talking about during the Sunday chart analysis, we didn't maintain 212.45 support. We're not going to go for buys. So, now granted, as long as we maintain 211.80, we're still bullish. So you could look for short-term buys here, but y'all know how I am. I don't really care about catching every candlestick. I much rather just wait for price to hold this level of support and have a cleaner setup. So if it does keep retracing, we're just gonna leave GJ alone for the day. We're just gonna leave GJ alone for the day. And again, gold, that thing dumped. So we're just gonna let gold do its thing. If it retraces some New York session, we might go look at a New York session. And of course, I'll give an update to the members during the New York price watch list. But as of right now, it hit all the prices we was talking about. So we're just gonna let it do its thing. Let me move this like that so y'all can see a little bit better, because that clock kind of get in the way. So again, y'all, if it doesn't maintain this level of support, it's going to most likely try to retest 33.40. But it already did a drop last night on there. We got the retest here, so we're going to see if price is going to keep pushing down for us. Hasn't done anything too crazy. We're going to need some volume to break these lows anyways, or we're going to end up just consolidating here. So I like this setup right here. So we're just going to let volume do its thing. We're gonna see what price does. Gold is still fucking dumping. Oh my goodness. It's doing what it did last Friday and Thursday, just dumping. If you got any questions, drop in the chat. When we look at any charts, drop in the chat. You already know we're just chilling, patiently waiting. Alright, we just hit TP1. Let me let the members know. TP1 hit. Do I ever trade S&P or NASDAQ? I do. I just haven't recently. Okay. What you have to understand is, depending on your account size, the S&P, the NASDAQ, US30 YM, they're a trio, right? US30 is the bigger one. NASDAQ's the second biggest. S&P is the smallest, right? And the reason why I've been touching or talking about the NAS100, I can talk about it this week, but the reason why I've been talking about it so far this month, and I talked about this during the TikTok live, so make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. But it all comes down to market structure. The reason why you've been seeing people this whole month, well, we can't even say this whole month because they complain every fucking day, right? But the reason why you see these people on Instagram and TikTok about, oh, NAS100 NQ price action is bad, right? We finally broke out of the range we was in for a month, right? But you're going to see what I'm talking about in a second, right? So when we pull up US30, we pull up NAS100, right? We're going to see two completely different market structures. Right? So it was in a downtrend, but then price was struggling to break the lower low and the lower high. As you can see, this was Thursday, February 5th, February 6th. It just broke out this level Friday last week. So for over an entire month, price has not done shit on NAS100 NQ, which is why you've been trading it it's been kind of hard, and why it's been flip-floppy or low volume, because price for entire month was stuck in place. But when we look at US30 and we go to February 5th, February 6th, we can see from February 5th, February 6th, we see completely different market structure, which is why we've been going for sales in US30, making money trading US30, right? Same thing when we go to the S&P 500 and when we look at ES, right? When we compare that to NAS100, we see completely different market structure, right? Again, when we go to February 5th, February 6th, you can see we broke out the consolidation. We had clear lower lows getting made, right? So that's why I've just been trading US30 over NAS100. Now, do I trade S&P 500? Yeah. Have I traded recently? No. And again, it's just because I just haven't. There's no particular reason, I just haven't, right? You don't have to trade everything. So I just pick one at the trio and go with it. I usually look at gold and I look at one of the charts for the trio, whether that's US30, NASDAQ, or S&P 500. Lately, I've just been trading US30 because, again, NAS100 hasn't been moving. So that's why I've been trading NAS100. So US30 is still pushing down. We hit TP1 on GU, but let's see if we can take this low out right here. And again, with US30, we're going to look to see if we're going to either turn this level into a resistance and look for continued sales here, or if we're going to retest this level right here. That's what we're looking at right now. And again, if y'all did not watch the Sunday chart analysis, make sure to hit that link in the description. First link in the description, go to free student free Telegram. Like I always tell y'all, the Sunday chart analysis goes over not just what we see price doing Sunday night going into Monday, but it goes over what we see price doing throughout the entire week. And y'all watched this last night. US30 YM1 as projected. Gold, as you can see, well, you can't see it. Let me put gold back up. Gold ended up dumping and going as projected. And GU did a nice move as well. The only chart that hasn't gone as projected so far is GJ. All right, the only chart that hasn't gone as projected so far is GJ. But we're about to see what this next 5 minute looks like. Let's see what this next 5 minute looks like. Let's put this back on GJ. If I got any questions, drop in the chat and I got you. I'm about to cut you to the chat in a second. Just give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Make sure to like the live if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already as well. We're almost at 5,000 subscribers. We can get to that easily this week, y'all. If you ain't subscribed, y'all don't know what you're doing. I don't know what y'all doing. Y'all know how we be doing over. Y'all know I ain't subscribed yet. But yeah, so we're just waiting for volume like this to pop off on GU. We did hit TP1, so we just need some more volume to keep pushing down. Again, we do have levels of traffic on a bigger time frame. So we just need some volume to break through these levels right here. This is a nasty ass drop. Nasty ass drop. And like I tell y'all, I don't see this stuff happening because I have a crystal ball. It's simply because once you rip the band-aid off, you understand market structure, it's easy to assume what price is going to most likely do next based on what price has done in the past, right? All these people online talk about prices randomly doing things. It's not randomly doing things, right? There's the method to the madness. And once you know the method to the madness, you just have to respect and follow his rules. You know what I mean? So we're going to see if we can hit TP2 on GU. We're still in profit on this, but let's see if we can get a little bit more profit. Let's see, a new 5 minute just popped up. And again, if you got any questions, drop in the chat and I got y'all. Let's see if we can get this next TP right here. But yeah, I will update my levels and talk about the NASDAQ. And like during the live streams, you want me to look at NAS or S&P 500, I can. But again, like when I be doing these live streams of Sunday chart analysis, I'm telling y'all the charts I'm looking at, right? That's why I say in these live streams, if you got any questions, drop in the chat. Want me to look at any charts, drop in the chat. Because I have no issue looking at charts. Y'all like to trade. But if y'all don't ask me to look at any charts y'all like to trade, I'm just going to be showing y'all what I'm looking at for the day or for the week and things like that. So this happens as well, y'all. We have a lot of charts that ended up doing what we was looking for, just wasn't on the charts. So shout out to those that was on the charts. So we kind of just got to take the L on missing these setups, you know what I mean? Less price retraces, we just got to take the L on missing these setups, which happens. Which happens, you can't catch everything. All right, let's see what we got going on here. I had to reread your name for a second. I thought it said something else. I had to reread your name. But upon the retest, you look for a certain candle. No, I don't. I do not. I do not. I do not. I do not. You watch any of my trade breakdowns on YouTube, watch any of my videos on YouTube, watch any of my TikTok live streams, and you have not already, make sure after this live is over to catch up to the videos on YouTube. All right, I promise y'all, I do not be dropping these videos for kicks and giggles. Every video I drop, every video I post, whether it's in the free Telegram, Advanced Play Signal, and Playmaker University, especially on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, are to help y'all out. But you'll never hear me use any of this lingo people talk about because none of that matters, right? And if you look at my trade breakdowns, you'll see I enter out different candlesticks, right? So it's not patterns that matter. It's not patterns that matter. And I talk about this in the price action technical analysis playbook. So if you don't have your copy of the playbook, make sure to get your copy of the playbook. All right. My Telegram is still not working. I'm going to have to update Telegram. It won't let me blow these things up. But let me pull out the playbook nonetheless. Okay. Let me pull out the playbook nonetheless. But you can see right here, look at this retest here, right? Look at this retest here, completely different candlestick. You see what I mean? Look at this retest here, completely different candlestick, right? So this is what throws people off. There is no magic candlestick or a magic amount of times price has to touch a level. It's simply, is it holding it as support? Is it holding it as resistance? So if you do not understand how support resistance works, again, make sure to check out the videos on YouTube. Check out the day trading tips playlist. Check out the trade breakdowns. But let me drop a video in the chat to make it a little bit easier for you to find the video I'm talking about. Okay, so you need to watch this video. Boom. And you need to watch this video right here. Boom. And again, y'all, the sell-ins this week, use discount code Q1 to get 25% off everything, including the playbook. And I'm about to pull out the playbook to explain exactly why. Alright. So when we pull out the good old playbook, what does the very first page of the playbook say? Before we get into even all the rules and stuff, the very first page of the playbook, one thing you have to understand before getting started is that price is not randomly doing things and there are no coincidences in the markets. If you see something once, you'll see it twice. If you see it twice, you'll see it thrice. If you see it thrice, you'll see it every day, every week, every month. The charts are like a 1,000-piece puzzle, each candlestick being one piece to the puzzle. All right, you cannot see the full picture of one piece. So all these patterns people come up with, all these candlestick names, that's just one piece to the puzzle. That's why as soon as that rule they came up with breaks, they're back to square one, which is not knowing what's going on. Or even worse, they come up with these stories about the mythical buyers and sellers, right? And it's not a certain kind of simply, when I do the arrows, are we holding as support or are we holding as resistance, right? That's all it comes down to. If we're holding as support or we're holding as resistance. Look right here. This was a reaction holding as resistance. This was a reaction. This was a reaction. These are all different candlesticks and patterns. You see what I mean? So make sure to watch those two videos and get your copy of the playbook so you understand exactly how the market structure works. All right, y'all, again, make sure to hit that first in the description, join the free signal, free Telegram as well. Let me get you off the screen. Good question, though. Good question, though. And as you tune into the live streams or watch last week's live streams, you'll see, again, different retests, different candlestick reactions and things like that. So, yeah, US30, all these charts are moving hard. We're going to see if GU is going to move hard like these setups we missed right here. So, again, we're going to wait for a retest right here on US30. I might have to add some more levels because this thing dumps a little bit more than I was expecting it to before London session. But for everybody that thinks New York session is the only session with volume, last night should have debunked that. Like I said, there's volume and opportunities every session. So we're chilling right back at our entry. We hit TP1 and we almost hit TP2. We're chilling right here. So again, if we fail to maintain 32.95 as resistance, we might try to retest 33.40. We need some volume to break through this level of traffic right here. Right, we need a little bit of volume because we are still bearish, but as you can see, we haven't been making clear lower highs, lower lows. We look right here. We made a lower low, lower high, failed to make a new lower low. We did push back down though, so we need some volume to take out these lows to get a new lower low today. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking to see if we can catch that going into New York session. But it is a Monday, and like I always talk about, Mondays and Tuesday are typically the slowest days out the week, especially when we don't have any news to help bring volume in. So we're just gonna have to simply wait for volume in our confirmations. That's all we gotta do. Just hold the SLR gets hit and let the markets do what they're gonna do. So we're gonna see what this 15 got in store for us. And we're gonna see if we can get a retest on US30 right here. Because this thing just completely dumped through this. I mean, it did a retest here, but again, that was before London session, so missed that setup. And then gold fucking took a dump as well. Missed the setups on gold. GJ ended up rejecting. So we still got some opportunities for London and New York session. We just gotta wait for the retracements, retest, and the volume to kick in. All right, let's see what else we got going on. Again, if you got any questions, drop in the chat, and I got y'all. I just want to know what trend USD/JPY is in. Like, it did a drop, but it's still in an uptrend. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. USD/JPY. It's fine. Every time somebody tells me about USD/JPY, I laugh a little bit because it's like my least favorite JPY pair to trade. But it does have cleaner market structure than GJ at the moment. So you said you want to know if we're in a uptrend, or you said what trend we're in. So this is what I talk about during the TikTok lives. So y'all need to make sure to tune into the TikTok lives. I am going to start streaming the TikTok lives, uploading the recordings on YouTube as well for those that miss them or be joining late. But we go live at least 3 times a week on TikTok during New York session around 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. EST. So make sure to tune into those TikTok lives, all right? So when we look at price right here, we're in an uptrend. We're in an uptrend. All right, red does not mean sell, green does not mean buy. We're in an uptrend still. Now, how do we know we're in an uptrend still? Very simple. We just retrace prices steps, right? What does the uptrend consist of? The uptrend consists of higher lows and higher highs, right? That's what we see right here. We see higher lows and higher highs, right? When we look at what price is currently doing, we had a reversal and then price pushed back to the upside. So again, if you just retrace prices steps, it'll be simple to figure out exactly what's going on. So make sure you get your copy of the playbook as well, because it literally goes over the rules of the trends, what needs to happen for the trend to continue, what needs to happen for the trend to change. And you watch any of my trade breakdowns on YouTube, you see me pull that out all the time and literally every single trade breakdown. But yeah, so USD/JPY is still in the uptrend. It is still in the uptrend. Let's see what else we got going on. Yeah, so we got GU retracing. We're gonna still hold the SLR TP gets hit. So there's a lot cleaner market structure. It's funny, every time y'all bring up USD/JPY, it be having cleaner market structure than the charts I looked at. But every time I used to trade USD/JPY, it used to always be looking funky. But you know, every chart cleans up at some point. There's a lot cleaner market structure than GJ. Matter of fact, while we're waiting for stuff, let me take a look at Euro. Let me get you off the screen as well. I'm gonna catch you to the channel a little bit. Yeah, so yeah, GJ is slacking a little bit. We're gonna see what it does in New York session though. And if y'all did not get wicked out on GU, again, just hold the SLR TP gets hit. Very simple. Just hold the SLR. What the hell just happened to my charts? There we go. GJ is slowly pushing back up. Again, you could look for short-term buys. If GJ can maintain 212.10 as support, 212.15, going to 212.45, but I'd much rather wait for price to hold 212.45 as support before I go for a buy setup on GJ. That's just me personally though. US30 still pushing, didn't retest that level, so it might just keep on dumping. It's still got plenty of room to dump today as well, because wicks don't count as the candlestick body. Again, there was a lot of setups that played out. It just happened last night, so you know, sometimes that happens. So you just gotta let it do its thing. And then we got GU retracing, so we're just gonna hold the SR TP gets hit. We did hit TP1, almost hit TP2. We're about to see if US30 can retest this level right here. All right, let's see what else we got. Can we look at AUD CAD? Yeah, we can look at AUD CAD. We're from TikTok. That's what's up. Shout out to folks that found me on TikTok. AUD CAD. This is reversing. Oh my god, let me get rid of these levels. I haven't traded AUD CAD in years. Yeah, let's get rid of this. So we're reversing right now. So we do look at sales. Let me mark off some levels for you to pay attention to. Give me 1 second. Again, y'all, we don't have any news today, so we're simply just waiting for volume and our confirmations to be met. But let me mark off some levels to pay attention to really quick. Mark off some levels really quick. Yeah, this week's definitely gonna be interesting, though, especially how Friday ended last week. Alright, give me 1 second. Let me put the charts back up. So this was going on with gold. This was going on with GU. So yeah, it looks like it's about to try to retest that level there. It might try to go for a round 2 New York session and try to break back to that point. Either that, or we're gonna be playing around the rosy again. Alright, give me 1 second, y'all. Let me mark out some levels really quick. If y'all got any questions, drop in the chat. When we look at any charts, drop in the chat. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna put your thing back on the screen once I pull it back up. So give me 1 second. All right, so this is what's going on with AUD CAD. So we are bearish. We had a reversal take place. So with AUD CAD, we can look for price to retest 95.75. If we can maintain 95.75 as resistance, you can look for sales going down to 95.40, 95.45. And we can maintain 95.45 as resistance. You can look for continued sales going to 95.05, 95.10. All right. So if I said that a little bit too fast, just rewind that, but that's what's going on with AUD CAD right now. I'd look for sales on that personally. That's what's going on with GU. US30 is still pushing without us. Gold's retracing some. Like I said, the reason why I haven't added more levels is because price of the big ass dump, right? So I'm just gonna wait for price to retrace. And then try to look for sell off the retracement. Again, y'all, sometimes charts will take off without you, and there's nothing you can do about that. You know, you just gotta let it do its thing. All right, let's see what else we got. Let's see what else we got. What is my average pip and risk? What is my average pip and risk? So if you hit the first link in the description, join the free Signal free Telegram. And I keep on saying this because literally a lot of questions you have are answered, but now that you know where to look for them at, you know where to look for them at, right? So if you hit the first link in the description on the free Signal free Telegram, you can literally see how we do on a weekly, monthly, and quarterly basis, right? Not every trade is going to be the same amount of pips or points. It's situational. So what you have to ask yourself is what is actually more important, which is the RR and the win rate. For example, last week we took 5 wins, 2 losses. The RRs were 1 to 2s, 1 to 4s, 1 to 3s, 1 to 3s, 1 to 2s, right? So I averaged 1 to 2 to 1 to 4 RR setups. And you can see our win rate is an 80 to 90% win rate on a weekly, monthly, and quarterly basis. You can see the week before that we went 5-0, catching 1 to 3, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 1, 1 to 2 RRs. And then you can also see the week before that how we did. And then you can see how we did last month, 19 and 3, giving us an 86% win rate. Then you can see how we wrapped up January, 20 wins, 3 losses, giving us an 87% win rate. But the way I trade is not like you be seeing online. Cause I be seeing people talk about online like, oh, you know, just target 20 points. That's not how the markets work. You can do that, but the market structure changes and it's a little bit deeper than that. But yeah, so it's not, I don't take the same amount of pips or SL every trade. It's literally situational. But on average, if the final TP gets hit, it's a 1 to 3, 1 to 4 RR. If we hit half the TPs or go halfway, it's a 1 to 1, 1 to 2 RR. And we average an 80 to 90% win rate on a weekly to monthly and quarterly basis. And we've been doing this since 2022. So yeah, we hit TP1, we almost hit TP2. We might get wicked out here, which is all good. And then US30, we're just waiting for a retest right here. If it keeps on pressing down, I might add some more levels, but I want to trade it here. I don't really want to go too much further without a retest, to be honest. But we're going to see what price does. Again, gold ended up going as projected as well, but just did it last night before London session. Let's pull GJ back up. Understood. Thank you. No problem. Again, if y'all got any questions, drop in the chat and I got y'all. Shout out to those that are still in the live. Let's pull GJ back up and see what GJ's up to. So GJ's pushing back up. So let's see how GJ reacts to this over here. Again, we can see short-term buys at 212.15 going to 212.45. But I'd much rather wait for price to push back up. Body-wise, it hasn't done shit. It's still where price started the day at. Which you can see is where price started the day at. So it still hasn't done shit for the day yet. So we're going to see if we can push back above here. And we're going to see if we can get a retest here. New 15 about to pop up in a little bit. So US30 is still pushing down. Did it do a retest on the 5 minute? It didn't even do a retest on the 5 minute. It just dumped through that level. All right, let's see what else we got. There's a reversal. Appreciate it. No problem. Can we look at Euro USD? Yeah, we can. Let's take a look at it. Oops, wrong chart. Yeah, so Euro USD is in a downtrend as well. It's kind of in a similar situation as GBPUSD. We're struggling to make that new lower low. That's also why we're kind of rejecting right now. And also why we had retracements take place last week. Because again, a traditional downtrend goes like what? Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? So when we retrace prices, that's what do we see right here? We see price made a lower high, lower low, lower high, failed to make a new lower low, right? So at this point, what do we got going on? When we pull out the playbook, it's going to tell us exactly what's going on, right? So we go to the rules of the downtrend. What's the rules of the downtrend say? Let's find out what the rules of the downtrend says, y'all. All right. Like it says right here. Price will continue to go down as it breaks support levels, turning into resistance levels. That's what creates the lower low. And disclaimer, the reason why these red lines are red and not blue and gold, because this is not how I mark off my key price levels. This is simply, like the book says, the rules of the downtrend. And completely different. If you watch my trade breakdowns on YouTube, you would know that as well. All right, so this is the lower high, this is the lower low. So my alert on US30 just went off. Okay, so we got a retest. Let's see if we can maintain this level as resistance. Or if if we're going to retest this level right here. So that's what we're about to watch really quick. Give me 1 second. Wouldn't be against a retracement, but if it holds this level, we might take this position. We'll see what it does. Let's see what goes up to. Goes retracing as well. GU barely missed their stop loss. Let's see who's going to hit our stop loss or push back down. So again, we have the lower high, we have the lower low right here, right? So like I said, for price to for the uptrend to come into play, we have to break past the lower high and turn the previous resistance low into a support level, like how the green arrow shows. So when we look at price right here, we broke that level on Thursday, and then right now we're looking to see if we're either going to hold this level as support and start the uptrend, or if we're going to push back down, hold this level as resistance, and continue the downtrend. So that's what's going on with Euro USD. We're waiting to see what side the coin price is going to land on, if we're going to see the downtrend continue or if we're going to see the uptrend come into play. So that's what's going on right there. price Euro USD. Y'all awake this Monday. Usually y'all be sleep as hell Monday. Shout out to y'all. Again, if y'all got any questions, drop in the chat and I got y'all. But we're about to see what this next 15 looks like. So we're about to see if we're going to hold this level. We're going to retrace back and retest this level right here. No problem, no problem. So yeah, so we're gonna let price retrace. And again, this is why I don't do like sell limits, buy limits. This is also why I don't breakout trade. I like to visibly see price either hold or reject the level. So we're still holding this to SLRTP gets hit. And then gold's retracing still. So we're gonna let gold retrace. We're gonna let gold retrace. And this is also why I didn't want to add more levels, because let's say we would have added more levels. This is 3 o'clock. You see how price is retracing. So we're gonna let gold bring this happy ass back up. We're gonna let gold bring this happy ass back up. If y'all got any questions, drop in the chat. I got y'all. And yeah, no problem, Jay. No problem, Jay. But like I said, this is the realistic side of trading. You're gonna be in drawdown. Sometimes trades will hit a couple TPs. Sometimes you're gonna miss setups. That's just a part of the game. Alright, we got price rejecting right here. I like this rejection right here. New 5 minute about to pop up in a little bit, y'all. If y'all got any questions, drop in the chat. And we got GU right back at our entry. So we're about to see if we can go for a round 2 right here, y'all. We're gonna go for a round 2 right here. And look at that rejection on US30. Look at that rejection right there. It's a nice rejection. Alright, so we're holding this up as resistance here. One thing I don't like is the 5 minute 50 is about to close. So again, if we can maintain 45,300 as resistance, we can look for sell going to the downside. Look at that push right there, y'all. Again, I hope y'all was paying attention to how price played out and how it reacted to this lower right here. And look how G is pushing back at our entry. That's why I tell y'all, if you're already in drawdown, might as well hold the S or TB gets hit. You know what I mean? There's no point in trying to close her. Unless you get wicked out in profit early, just hold to S or TP gets hit. So yeah, this is a nice setup right here as well. GJ still playing around. Yeah, gold. I'm not touching gold today unless it retraces more. Because because you guys have to understand this, right? And you'll see this a lot of the times. Like we saw this earlier last week as well, right? When we caught that dump on Thursday, we saw that happen on Thursday. We saw it happen right here, right? London session just started, so that means price did this big ass move Tokyo session. So we're on the daily time frame and price did this big ass move in one session, but yet this is what price did London, New York, Tokyo session, Tokyo, London, New York, Tokyo, London, New York, Tokyo, London, New York, right? If we did this just in one session and we still have London session to go and we didn't even start New York session, what do you think price is going to do the rest of the day? We're either going to see a normally large candlestick play out like this one right here, or we're going to see a retracement or some consolidation take place. You see what I mean? And we saw this happen last week, the week before that. Anytime we have a big ass candlestick, you see a wick, you go to that session and you're going to see that price slow down a little bit, like we could see right here, right? This was Thursday. Price dumped London session, dumped Tokyo session, right? This was Tokyo session pre-London. This was London session. 8 o'clock New York session, did a dump for an hour. And then what did price do the rest of New York session going into 9:30? Consolidated and retraced, right? So if price did all this Tokyo session, there's a high likelihood that we're going to see price retrace or consolidate. You know what I mean? And I don't want to get caught in the retracement consolidation, so I'm just going to let it. I'm just going to take the L on gold. You know what I mean? And let price, you know, do what it's going to do. So let's see what GU's got in store for us. Again, US30 is doing a nice retest. We're going to see how this candlestick closes. Where are all my levels? There we go. I was like, what the hell happened? If y'all got any questions, drop in the chat. When we look at any charts, drop in the chat. We're right back at TP1. Let's see if we can hit TP2. And yeah, let's see what these markets got in store for us. Back in profit on this. Let's see if we can hit TP2. We're back at TP1. New 15, a new hour about to pop up as well. Again, y'all, just patience, 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 patience. If we rewind this, right? We opened up the charts. We saw US30 YM did a big ass dump, right? An inexperienced trader in the old me would have FOMO'd and would have broke out traded here, would have took a loss, right? But now that we have a break and retest, we have a higher likelihood of price, as you can see, continuing to push to the downside. So we're going to see what the next hour looks like, y'all. But again, hopefully y'all learning stuff from this live stream. But let's see what GU does right here. We're back at TP1. Let's see if we can break this low right here. All right, let's see if it holds or rejects. Let's see if it holds or rejects right here. All right, rejected. So I guess we're not going to take that motherfucker. G is still retesting. So we're just waiting for a volume right here, y'all. We got to see if we can hold this up as resistance. This is why we wait for the candles to close. Let's see if we hold right here. Again, a lot of the charts we was looking at played out last night, so we're kind of just waiting for retracements. If you watch the Sunday chart analysis, not this one. This one right here. Gold ended up dumping last night, so we're just waiting for price to retrace for us. G did a nice dump last night as well, so we're waiting for an entry right here. And then US30 dumped, failed to hold this level. We didn't pull the trigger. But we're gonna just let GU do his thing. And that's pretty much it, y'all. That's pretty much it. If y'all missed the live, make sure to rewind because we still had some good questions asked this live. And we saw some good things play out this live regardless. But yeah, I'm just gonna hold this to SLRTP gets hit. Not taking anything else at the moment. And like always, y'all don't see any action between now and 6 a.m. Just wait for New York session. We're probably gonna see some more volume New York session. But as far as news, we don't have any news today. We have a couple news events this week, but not as much as last week. Daylight savings. Oh, that's for the other countries. Y'all didn't have the time shift yet? It's just America that did the time shift so far. Yeah, so we're still holding this level as resistance. We just need volume. That's all we need. We just need volume right now. Alright, so we're gonna look to see if we can retest this level here. G is still kind of chilling. Gold still retracing. All right, so GJ is still slowly pushing. We're gonna see again if GJ can maintain 212.45 as support. We can look for buyers going to 212.80. US30 is retracing, so we're either gonna look for price to retest 45.480 as resistance, or really we do have this gap up here still. That price could try to retest. We did also do a big ass dump last week as well, so we could see a lower high get made today and tomorrow. So today's going to be interesting. I'm going to see what price does today, but I do see some retracing going on because, again, we did have some big ass dumps happen last night on literally every single chart. Hit TP1, might take an L on GU, but we're going to still see what New York's actually got in store for us, y'all. Shout out to everybody in the live, y'all. Shout out to everybody who's been live since the beginning. Shout out to everybody who's been live since y'all joined. Make sure to hit that first link in the description for free signal, free Telegram. Should be live later on today on TikTok. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Y'all see it scrolling at the bottom of y'all screen. Instagram, playmaker_wait. TikTok, _playmaker_wait_. But yeah, we're going to see what price does for us going into New York session. And we're still going to hold that to SL or TB gets hit. But yeah, y'all. About to see what today got in store for us, y'all. Peace, we out.